Going live. The Jeffrey Sinatra Show. Top reasons why. In 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Suck it. And we are live. The mic is on. I hope it's hot. Cooper, Can you hear me? Give me some feedback. You see the picture? Terrible buzzing noise, he says. Well, what the hell else could be crossing streams? Let's find out. Well, there's my computer's crossing streams. That sucks. Let's mute that. Let's put on that noise suppressor. All right. How's the noise now? Is the noise any better? Is it any better? Or is it still humming? Are we having a quality issue with the sound? Because I can switch the sound around if I need to. Example. He sends me an example. I love it. Ooh. Still sound bad, he says. How are we doing now? Coop, still bad? Killing me, Smalls. Killing me. Why? Why? Why is it still bad? I got that one muted. I got that one taken off. We're shutting that one down. Dead. It's dead to me. He's still sending me examples. I love you. What a man. What a good man. He's like, here. I'll show you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is... Now. Oh, that sounded like a robot. You know, if I put my headset on, I bet I can hear myself. Okay. Speakers are here. Volume is up. What if I... What about now? All right. Tell me I still sound like a robot, Coop. Tell me. If I still sound like a robot, then I'm switching everything up. Shut up, dog.
Simmer down.
Keep talking. Keep talking. You keep talking. You don't tell me to keep talking, you son of a bitch.
Simmer down now.
I'll tell you what. Oh, can you believe the dog?
Oh my god.
Tink, go outside. Go potty.
Come on, Tink. Time to shut up and go outside.
It's probably because it's 11:30. She thinks it's bedtime. But, you know, that's cool. We can yell at her instead.
Maybe we should explain she whines even if she doesn't have to go outside. Just to aggravate.
Robot, then I'm switching everything up. Shut up, dog.
Tink.
Keep talking. Keep talking. You keep talking. You don't tell me to keep talking, you son of a bitch. Coop, that's not me. That's not what I sound like. I'm not. I don't talk shit like that. All right. I'm going to fix it. Here we go. I got it. Ready? Here we go. Watch me. I had to keep you live. Still sounds like a robot. How could I still sound like a fucking robot? Now I'm talking to the USB. That doesn't have any issues. All right, microphone, camera. Okay, so my name is Jeffrey. Still sounds like a robot. Hope that's helpful. Cool. You're always helpful. I'll give you credit. Now, if I still sound like a robot, then I gotta take care of that. I don't know what could be causing it. Top reasons why, authored by robot. Oh Jesus, you're such a punk. All right. I'm gonna check out a couple other sources here. All right, sounds much better now, he says. Oh, okay. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right. It's perfect now. No delays. Don't get confused. Don't get confused now, computer. We're gonna go slow for just a moment while it catches up, because we don't want it to get confused. This equipment is so challenged, I'll tell you what. It's so challenged. Alrighty, well, welcome. Jeffrey Sinatra Show, Top Reasons Why, TRW. That's what we do. Thank you to Coop for paying attention. Coop, go ahead and say if you're logged in or you just watching me on your TV, hit me up on chat. Let's make sure the chat function is working properly. Hello. All right, we're popping up on the screen. That's good. We wanted that. What else is on the screen? We have elements. Video preview on the elements. Let's see. Tonight, we are going to discuss the top reasons why.
Oh!
The 10 top reasons why.
Sorry.
You should not stay friends with your ex. So this is how I like to do it. I find somebody's opinion on the interwebs, and then I, of course, have my own opinions on everything. we'll debate, we'll discuss. I wasn't going to set it up tonight for anybody who wanted to join in to have my Zoom room and just pop in and be a guest. But I was feeling lazy and didn't set it up this time. But I think tomorrow night, and I think moving forward, we're going to do that. We're going to have a TRW Zoom room, and it's going to be permanent. I think I'll have to have a waiting room to keep you creepers from jumping in when you shouldn't be there. But maybe we'll go balls to the wall. Whoever wants to jump in, if you happen to, flash your woo-woo, then it is what it is. And that's just for the men. So what's been going on? So today was work. Anybody else go to work today? No? I hope not. My dog wants back in. So y'all think this is glamorous. You think this is, I don't know, something other than a middle-aged man and his friend hanging out with a dog who's dying of lung cancer and a cat who won't die no matter how hard we try to let her go. She's apparently not allergic to cyanide. She's not allergic to a boot to the head. She's not allergic to a minivan. I've tested her allergies in different ways. That cat is so indestructible that I shit you not. She's 22 years old now. When we got her, she was 6. And so I was thinking 6, 7 years and she'd be a goner. This cat, we in my prior life when I was married, my wife and I moved probably 5 times. We bought 3 houses, moved 5 times. And of course brought the pets with us. And this cat has been an indoor-outdoor cat its entire life. You can't stop it. Doesn't matter where. We bought a house in the southeast part of town, which is almost like not this city. It's a neighborhood or a ranch called something else, and it's very separated. I would tell people, they're like, how do you get to your house? I said, well, you know how you go to the county fair once a year? They're like, yeah. You know, it's a really long drive. Like, yeah. And it's a really long line at the exit to go there. And they're like, yeah. I said, well, go do that. And then turn left. And then go 7 more miles. And then I'm in that area. And they're like, holy crap. Especially where I worked, because where I worked is on the complete opposite side of town. Complete. It was a 35-mile drive if you were hauling ass, or 35-minute drive if you were hauling ass. But anyhow, we move our family out to this nice house, the dream house. This is the house that's going to save our marriage, and the one that we're going to die in. Someone almost died in it, but not me, not her. Jokes. And I picked this house because somebody put $50,000 of renovations into the house. And as I was back then, relatively lazy or very lazy, I like to sleep a lot, and I didn't like to do a lot. I'm the opposite now. I don't like to sleep a lot, I like to do a lot. I was willing to pay 50 or 20 grand above market price to get this home. So I liked it because we had the 18-inch Spanish tile. Showers and bathrooms were all tiled to match. Backyard was all flagstone, grass, real grass. Now I live in the desert, so real grass is rare. I bought a lawnmower. I was excited. Now it wasn't a lot of real grass, but it was enough. It was enough that I could smell and get out there and be a man on a Saturday morning and mow my lawn. And then the back, there's a swimming pool and there's a gazebo. I call it the manzebo. The manzebo had a built-in grill, gas line to the house. It had double sinks, refrigerator, ceiling fan, and then bar space all around it. It was fantastic. I was very, very pleased that somebody had put all the work into it, and then that sucker, he got divorced and wound up having to sell the house. And I was like, thank God that'll never happen to me. Uh,
Judging them in your head.
yeah, right. I'm like, sucker. This must have been his dream home. I bet he was planning on retiring here. Well, I'm happy to step in the shoes, and then like Amityville Horror, like, get out, get out. Yeah, I thought it was a demon in the basement, but it was really my ex-wife whispering to me in my ear. So, my back itches. All right, that's what drumsticks are for. Sorry about all this. It's very distracting, I know. Um, please, please, do whatever you want. I can't see you. Enjoy. So, one of the other big sales on this house. Trust me, my stories, they always come around. They always come full circle at some point. Was the back wall open to, there was a little wash, and then just open government owned land.
So nobody's gonna build on it.
No
You're
one,
gonna have a view.
no one's gonna build there, and it's my space. So the yards were, they weren't the biggest yards I have. So I've always been I had always been a acre whore, basically. Like, if I could buy a house, I would buy the house in a lot with the biggest lot, because I came from San Diego. San Diego, I couldn't afford to buy a postage stamp size condo for under $450,000. So when I moved out here, I was like, there's land everywhere. So I bought my first house at 10,000 square foot lot. Yeah, because I love paying the local migrant workers a lot of money to weed that fucking lot. That's really what I did. The weeds would just go ape shit. I didn't realize how bad the monsoon was out here, and that the weeds would just take over your life. But the next house I had built, sitting down, going over specs, and they're like, well, I said, what's your biggest lot? And they're like, the biggest lot? I said, well, that would be over here on this kind of cul-de-sac roundabout. The backyard goes like this, and kind of a pie shape. It's a 7,622 square foot lot. I said, well, what are the average lot sizes for the other houses? And they said, oh, they're more like 5,200. I said, booyah, I'll take that house. And they said, well, not a problem. It's going to be a model house, so you don't get, if you choose that lot, you don't get to choose much on the house. Like, you might be able to choose cabinets if we agree on it. Like, basically, if you agree on what we've already picked out for the model house, then it'll be a custom house. But outside of that, it's not really going to be a custom house. However, we'll have all the upgrades and amenities at no extra cost. So I was like, I want the land, so I'll fucking take it. And that was in 2007. 2008, housing market crashed, and I lost that house and another house.
That's
at the
same
time.
year I bought. I short sailed it for $75,000 less.
Yeah. So I foreclosed on one house. I just walked away from another new build, and then demanded they give me my earnest money back, and they did. It was great. That house, I never even turned in the loan paperwork. I just lied until they believed me that they had lost it, and then they went ahead and sold it to me anyway. Yeah. you wonder. I literally have the emails right now. Don't worry. The cat story. I'm about to finish it. I have the emails in my outbox in my MSN account, which I haven't used for years. But when I pull up Outlook, it's there. I have proof of the correspondence between myself and the subprime lending agent, who, with zero proof and me already owning a home, sold me another home with the other one not even being on the market yet, with a single income of like $50,000 a year. They sold me another new build for like $280,000. Yeah, you wonder why everything went to shit. Weird, I don't know. But the next house, now this is the one where I'm going to tell you how I tried to kill the cat. Like I said, had all the amenities, and then that wall that opened up to nothing, open land. The lot was about 6,500-ish square feet. The house was 2,200 square feet, so it wasn't too bad. At that point, the amenities were so good I didn't really give a shit about the size of the land. But I really liked that open space in the back. And another thing that was really interesting about having all that open desert right behind my house was that at night when the sun would go down, you would hear the coyotes come through.
Oh yeah, they howl like purpose. You do it a little longer? Another 15 seconds. There you go. Okay, that's very annoying.
She was gonna start.
Who?
My old ass dog. If she didn't have lung cancer, she'd have the breath to be able to squeal with me. Come on, sing with me.
Howl, Tink. There she goes.
Yeah, that's how many followers. You're gonna sign on for top reasons why, and you're gonna get me howling like a coyote with my dog who has lung cancer.
All the single ladies over 70 are gonna watch while they knit.
Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies. I told RW she better watch me tonight because I'm gonna talk about her. But if she doesn't, oh yeah, Coop says his dog is going crazy. Why don't you throw it on my text, man? Help my algorithm, son. Why don't you help me out, okay?
You don't need to do it over the phone, but that way, cool.
I can pull up my text and then image shot that onto the screen, but I won't do that. I will keep your privacy, sir. Or ma'am, whichever you may be. I did not mean to misgender you, sir. Ma'am, it, thing, they, she, Coop. All right, I'm done. Is my face red or is that the screen? Look at that jaw. Look at that. It's nice, right? You like that? What? What? I'm on the air. People are taking this very seriously. This is not time for you to talk.
Hey, Tink. Come here, Tink.
What do you want? What's going on?
She doesn't know what she wants, just like real women.
Oh, it's bedtime. I know what she wants. Once it's past 11, she's literally saying, let's go to bed.
Why don't you go in there first and he'll be in shortly?
Because she's a senior citizen with the mind of a parrot.
I know. So she basically wants to force you to go to bed, and
she likes it when I go in and lay down because then she can relax. Oh, she's gonna die someday, and we're gonna feel sad.
I know. I have that one picture that.
Hello, Turtle Ranch. How are you?
Yeah, the one picture that is gonna give me nostalgia when I see it.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be like, why was I so mean to that cute dog? Oh my gosh.
So why? So I've got the chat on the screen, and you can see my chat, but you can't see Turtle Ranch's. Let me see what's going on there. The idea is that you guys get. Oh, there it pops up. There's just a little bit of a delay. That's good. All right. somebody with a really confusing serial number said Turtle Ranch. Koopy Doopy, is that you or is that somebody else? So Turtle Ranch, Saturdays. What? Stop interrupting me. I'm talking. Saturday's show was with my daughters. Oh, okay. He went that way. I know this one. Hey, I'm busy. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my millions of adoring fans. You mind? No, seriously. What? Do you want to get on the? You want to get on the horn and talk to people?
Why don't you just go away? There you go, Tinny. Go away. Go away.
I think people thought it was cute, and they're gonna be mad now at you.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I
thought you were upset that she was interrupting.
No, actually, I was talking to right at mine
Oh,
at that time.
you want to see? It's hard for me to read. You need to pretend to be annoyed less well.
No, she's fine. Don't worry about her. She should go to sleep. She should. She's old. She's gonna die on the show, and that's sad. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perrin, my bouncer, he took care of the dog. He was just waiting for me to lose my shit because he really likes it. I've told that story before, but he says I'm usually so composed in general about how I react to things, and then I just flip shit on the dog and the cat while like nobody's looking, and then I kind of forget. My buddy's sitting on the couch and I'm spazzing out on an animal. Yeah,
it's very interesting. It's like a curious case study.
It's a moment of pride, I'll tell you that. And I'm like, seriously, stop fucking looking at me. What do you want?
And I was like,
you're just gonna. Why are you staring? Go fucking away. And it's actually worse than that. I can't even fake that.
The level of irritation that comes out.
The level of angst and like anger that comes out. I can
actually encourage that mood. Like if he feels that I'm being annoyed at the dog, it'll drive him to do it too. And so I'll be like, "Gosh, Tink, quit staring at me." I'll be like, "Jeff," and then the next time she does something, he'll be like, "God damn it!
God damn it! You go
get the hell out!" And then
it's not embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's I was wondering why you were attributing human characteristics to the dog, and then I was after a minute I realized that it's because they've lived together for so long, it's inevitable. 15 years? I mean, you're gonna have expectations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't anthropomorphize a dog. It's just that she should know by now, for God's sake. If her learning curve is really 16 years, then she should just die at this point.
She literally, her job is to exist and make you happy.
I'm like, use your words. What is it? Oh man, you got a whole list of credit card numbers?
You talk to her like she understands. I own you. I'm the boss. I'm like, you made a good point there with the dog. It was.
She doesn't get it. I don't know why the donate button is not working. That would be my moderator's job and producer named John Hunter Adam, who is probably playing video games and not checking in on the stream. Because he got it set up. We made sure we attached it to an account that is mine. So not sure. Sorry. We'll get it fixed. I'll tell you what. Go ahead and drop your credit card number or your routing and account number straight into the chat right here. I promise. Nobody else will touch it.
Social security number too.
Because you go ahead and need the CVV code on the back and then your expiration date. So I gotta stop going on so late.
So were you in the middle of a cat story?
Oh yeah, I was in the middle of the cat story.
So you're at this new house, a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
land.
I remember.
Okay. Sorry.
I was reading the chat. You're gonna hack it? You think so, Coop? He went that way. If you're gonna hack it, get in there and do it, okay? And make sure you follow me on that too, okay? Follow me on that weird username. Thank you, appreciate it. New house, coyotes. That's what it is. I started barking and shit, so I got. Hey, there we go. I got a new follower. It's he went that way. Nice work. Appreciate that. It's 5:30. It's about this time of year we bought the house. Sun's going down. The wind is kicking up. It's nice and cool. The palm trees are swaying. I'm about to put some steaks on the grill. And who do I see? Ventured out of the house into the backyard, up the 6-foot retaining wall, perched like this.
The cat.
You can see the little tail in the back going like flick, 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 flick. And the noise starts. You hear far away. Tail, poof, gets big, ears forward. So I start sneaking up behind her in the grass. Don't want her to hear me. Don't want her to hear me. Cat. I go up. Push. And I shove the cat over the wall. So a couple of noises happen all at once. You can imagine. We got coyotes. We got the cat. The noises scared the shit out of me. Like, I remember what it feels like today when the cat shrieked at the top of her lungs. And my children were, unbeknownst to me, standing on the porch behind me, and they screamed. I whipped my head back, and I almost pissed myself. And the kids are just terrified. And then I look forward, and the cat I pushed her. She spun around, grabbed the wall, whoop, came right back up over, no problem, not even a hesitation. And the girls are screaming, Dad tried to kill the cat again. Actually, that was Hunter. The girls are screaming, ah! And Lisa, what's wrong? What's wrong? Dad tried to kill the cat again. Again? Sort of bullshit is that?
They always just include again.
That's horrible. Yeah, they always say again. It's not like they witnessed it more than before a lot.
But definitely that was it.
It's like the Highlander. There can be only one, but apparently she is the Highlander because 22 years later, she's still invincible.
And she beats up the dog.
And she kicks the dog's ass all the time. And she looks like she's a kitten, minus the fact that she drools on you because she only has one tooth and she can't hold her spit in. People are like, oh, my arm got wet. What's wrong with her? I think she has snotted on me. I'm like, no, it's drool. She can't help it. She doesn't have teeth. She has a tooth. It's fun to give her crunchy food. Make her work for it. Whatever. It's not going to kill her. Trust me. I know what's going to kill her. It's not that. Actually, I don't know what's going to kill her. So, there you go. Flash forward maybe 6 months, 9 months later, we're going out to eat one night, and I'm in a family vehicle, kids in the car. Another family friends are in front of us. We just called the steakhouse, and they don't do reservations, okay? They just do call ahead. So you've got a 15-minute window to get over there. So we just do a call ahead. Between us, we've got 5 kids who are like 9, 10 and under. So 4 of them are girls. We've only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You know what I mean? So we start to take off. We pull off the curb, and the wife's friend clip a cat who runs out of the driveway.
Oh God!
With her back tire. I'm already on her ass, like I'm flooring my vehicle. I roll the cat completely under the carriage of my car and hear its head bounce. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Oh, the kids must have freaked out.
And the kids make that noise like, Dad tried to run over the cat again.
They thought it was on purpose?
This time it was not on purpose.
But they thought it was?
You do it one time, and then like every other time, Dad aims for a cat. She always got out of the way. So,
it's
so
consequences.
As we're pulling away, Lisa goes, "Are you gonna stop?" And I'm like, "Call ahead."
She's dead. I promise.
She's like, "All right," and we just leave. I'm like, "Look, if she's dead, her body's gonna be there when we get back. If she's not,
I don't want to spend $10,000.
Maybe she's gonna limp her way back home." And 4 hours later, we get home and open the front door, and there she is. She hopped over the wall, came into the back door. So we even rolled her with 2 vehicles. Yeah, just fine. The cat's great. Maybe that's where her teeth went, in hindsight. I thought it was old age, but I'm more than 22 and I got my teeth, so.
Yeah, that's impressive. I never heard that story.
Guys, you remember this joke? You know what that sound is? Islam. All right, we're not going to go there again. That's just a callback to another story. This is my good luck clock, and this is my good luck nothing. So this clock used to belong to Grandma. Okay. This is a wind-up manual Westclock Traveler. Hold on. It stopped ticking. I think it's going to explode now. Nope, there it goes. Made in Taiwan, circa 1966. It's got a plastic brown traveler. It is purely mechanical. It has an alarm that you can only set it. You have to wind it and set it before bed because it's going to only go off once in 12 hours and it runs out the spring. If it's going too fast or too slow, you take, I don't know, like a nail file or something small, and you put it in there and you adjust the little spring lever, and it's got an F for fat and an S for stupid. So if it's going stupid, then you just go fatter on it, and then it speeds up the mechanism, and then it will catch up. So I've been carrying, it's obviously stupid because it's just after midnight. I've been carrying this with me for days now. You would think years, but this didn't belong to my grandmother. This belonged to somebody else's grandmother. I assume that person is dead. I got this at a what are those called? Thrift store for 75 cents. And it's one of my favorite things ever. I actually bring it to work with me because I like clocks. I like to know that my life is always ticking away. It's a metaphor, and it's real. I have more clocks I think than most people. I have a clock right above us here. I have a clock on the mantle over there. I have a grandfather clock here. I have a clock next to the grandfather clock. It's a day of the week clock in case I don't know what day it is. That was a cool find. I never knew they made a day of the week clock, but it's good to know. And then next to the front door, there's an Anchor clock.
Change your watch.
Oh, then I've got my watch. I've got two on each, one on each computer monitor. It's crazy on my phone, but just wall clocks alone. Mantle clocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in one room. Is that excessive or obsessive? I don't think it is. So, point of business. I made a logo tonight. Let's take a look at it. It's in the upper right hand corner, but let's take a look. See what you think. I thought it was pretty dope. Top reasons why. We're gonna do the top reasons why tonight. TRW. I just want people to tune in and say, "Hey, you're gonna listen to TRW tonight? Let's see if he killed his cat yet," and then goes through a list of things like the 15 reasons why spanking women is fun. That'll be tomorrow. The way I'm going to demonstrate the top 15 reasons why spanking women is fun is I'm going to have a woman volunteer, and then I'm going to go, okay, reason number 1, whack. All right, don't cry. Reason number 2. I don't know if that violates the terms of service. I'll have to check that out. I think it'll be fun. Okay. You guys ready? We're going to do it. What do we got here? We have 10 most terrible reasons for staying friends with your ex. How many of you have ever been in a relationship before? I haven't, so I need you guys to volunteer. Okay, raise your eyes. Thank you. How many of you have been dumped in a relationship? Go ahead. How many of you have broken up with somebody? Okay, go ahead. Which one feels better? Breaking up with them or being broken up with?
To be honest, breaking up with them, even though this sounds messed up, it does.
I would agree. I think being in charge of the end of the relationship, although it could be emotional and suck anyways, I think it's a better place to be than be on the receiving end of it. Yeah. So I recall I had a girlfriend back in the day. Her name was Natalie. I can talk about her now because it's been 25 years ish. Wait, I'm saying I can talk about it legally, like not talking about it emotionally. Emotionally, I'm not over it yet. So, had this girlfriend Natalie. We dated for a few years, and that was in our late teens to early 20s, which back then is the whole of your adult life. And one night in the beginning of March, I recall, she turned on the light while we were sleeping, and she rolled over and she said, "Hey, are you asleep?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Wake up." I said, "Okay, I'm awake. What's up?" And she said, "Yeah, I've decided that I'm not going to marry you, so I'm going to move out when the lease is up. And my response was, oh, thank God. You're going to stay until the lease is up.
I have time to change your mind.
This isn't going to be awkward or anything. So I asked for clarifying questions. I said, well, can you tell me why, after 4 years, you've come to this decision? And she said, well, it's not me, it's you. I said, well, that's refreshing and fucked up. I said, are you seeing somebody else? She said, nope. I said, do you have another, like, bitchin' ass 400 square foot apartment lined up? She said, nope. I'm gonna move back in with my parents and figure shit out. I said, oh, so you're 22 years old and you're gonna choose moving back in with your parents over me? And she said, yep. I said, all right. Well, this is gonna be a hoot. Can I touch your boob? And then she said, go to sleep, Jeff. So I touched her boob, and I went to sleep. So for the next 6 weeks, we lived together, which was, oh my gosh, so much fun when you're in a one-bedroom,
Not awkward at all.
465 square foot apartment, and you're not sure what to talk about. And then all of a sudden, the person acts like you've never been in a state of undress in front of each other. Like, do you mind turning your head real quick? I'm gonna, what? I remember that was shocking to me. What do you, huh? You need your privacy all of a sudden? I've literally, really? There's nothing left to violate. Like, I don't get it. Seen it all, put my mouth on it all, etc.
It's all violated.
Suddenly, I can't see side boob while you're getting ready to take a shower. This is odd. So, being the gentleman that I was,
you recorded her secretly?
No, recording equipment back then was still like really bulky.
Yeah,
it was hard to be surreptitious. I did not record her. But being the gentleman that I was, well, I'm not going to be vulgar about it, but let's just say that I decided to go about my personal business, the kind of personal business that you tell your kids, like, hurry up, there's other siblings in this house, get out of the bathroom, that kind of personal business. I decided to just make it a public display at that point. Because if she was going to make me feel bad for looking in her general direction while she had a towel around her, then I figured I'd make her feel bad for the fact that I was doing those things on the porch while talking to the neighbors. Luckily, I'm just saying, in 97, the rules and laws on that, they weren't quite so touchy, you know what I mean? We were still at like 56K dial-up, So, anyhow, she said to me one evening, as she decided to have a conversation with me, and I sat there calmly and coolly, sobbing and begging, or something like that. I don't think it was that dramatic. Yeah, it was a bit dramatic. She said this, Jeff, don't look at this as the end of our relationship, but rather the beginning of our friendship. And I thought that was
so dumb.
I thought that was really poignant for this show, because I paused for a moment and I considered what she said, and I said, fuck you. I don't want to be your friend. Are you fucking serious? Oh my God. I'll be honest with you. You're wound so fucking tight that I can't believe that anybody could stand you, you psychotic Gemini bitch. Why the fuck would I be friends with you? It was something like, I don't know. I said that. And then she got upset and she was like, "Oh, you're mean." I was like, "Go fuck yourself, you idiot. I hate you. Hope you get syphilis." And okay, so the next 2 weeks were even more awkward, but then, we moved on. So let's go ahead and take a look at the slides. 10
the top 10
most terrible reasons for staying friends with your ex. Let's give a little background story. And there's a lot of words. We're going to read every fourth word. Are you ready? Caring for reasons hurtful you. Okay, you guys got the point now, right? You see how speed reading works. Next paragraph. There's why your ex-partner, time, life, became significant. Why, clear, want, keep, relationship, degree, couples, spouses, partners, effort, friends, breakup, couples, transition. Okay.
That does not help me at all.
We don't need those other words. However, research suggests exes, low quality friendship, opposite sex buddies, who are. All right, I'll read that one. However, research suggests that the average exes are likely to have low quality friendship compared to the opposite sex buddies who were never involved romantically. They are not much in terms of emotional support, less trusting, less helpful, and even less concerned as to the happiness of other people. This is true particularly for ex-partners with whom they were dissatisfied with their romantic relationship and non-mutual breakups. So they're saying if you weren't satisfied with the romantic part of the relationship, then you're not going to make good friends anyway. So it's not going to work out. And if you weren't friends before you started shagging, then when you're done shagging, it's probably not going to work too well either. So there's both complications. So you either had good shagging and therefore friendship is irrelevant, or you had bad shagging and they are going to not like you for that reason anyway. Hey, buddy, my new buddy, ex-partner, would you like to go fishing? Well, you and your small wiener? Wow. That's mean. You see what I mean? Could be awkward. The certainty that the friendship with your ex would turn out positive instead of a painful ordeal, depends on the part of your motives, which includes those that you would not quite openly acknowledge. Now, this is not my opinion. This is somebody else's opinion. So let's see. Reason number one, what is this? Why people do, or why it's a terrible? Yeah, this is why it's terrible. Reason number one is a terrible idea is you feel sorry for them. If you feel sorry for them, and that's the reason why you want to be friends with them, what could possibly be bad about that? Let's say, so if you're feeling sorry for them, you have to assume that you're the person who initiated the breakup, right? Because I don't know. I'm pretty sure my ex did not feel sorry for me. I don't feel like my ex-wife felt sorry for me at all. I think by the time they get there, they're already moved on, right? Can't have remorse because otherwise or guilt or, even sympathy, because then you'd have to admit that you might be part of the issue, right? So I'm thinking feeling sorry for them is a bad reason. Like, I'm sorry I broke you in half. You want to go fishing with your small wiener with me?
Plus, you can't stay friends after being together like that easily. There's sexual tension, and somebody's going to end up falling for the other and reforming feelings, and it's just messy.
Yup. Unless it's a relationship like the one that my friend, he went that way, had with his best friend slash confidant slash, his name was Butchie. Then after 5 years of a lot of rave drugs and passionate warehouse loving, he realized like, hey, I'm not into you, and I don't think I'm into guys in general. And Butchie was like, yeah, me neither. This was just because of all the rave drugs we did. And then they were like, cool, you want to just be friends? And he's like, sure, let's do that. And then Butchie took off and went back home and left him in Tucson. So
That's interesting. So it can work. Okay.
if there's anybody out there that it feels like I'm using you or any elements of your personality or character to spin a tall tale about motives and outcome, it's not true. But it is resembling the truth. So let's read this person. Oh, that's a long paragraph. That's too long. You guys, we disagree. Feeling sorry for them, that's a terrible reason for staying friends. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say the reasons are pretty self-evident too, right?
I can't believe I spent all this time plagiarizing this shit and putting it into a PowerPoint when I could have just said that.
Pretending like it was something online that you can pay for.
No, I never said it. No, I was never going to assume that I didn't do anything other than take somebody else's information and then I'm going to argue it. But right now, I can't argue it. In agreement, we can't argue it. Feeling sorry is a terrible reason. Another terrible reason, you love them still. Yep, that would be a terrible reason to still stay friends with somebody. Agreed.
It's asking to get hurt.
Yep. If you're still in love with them and then you hang out with them all the time and you're like, hey, we're just friends.
Why am I not getting over them?
We're just friends. I don't know why I can't stop the self-injuring. Yeah, it's probably that.
It's because you feel like constantly rejected.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, there is a point, I would say, in a long-term marriage with children that you can grow up to a point where you can associate with the ex and be okay with it. But if you go through that, and I hope you don't have to, if you go through that, you are going to have to be emotionally aware and be cognizant of your feelings and whatever they are, whether they be love or jealousy or rage or psychotic, insane desire for death and destruction on others, like stuff like that. Like those things that you can't really put names on them, but you feel them inside the cockles of your heart. Those things. Just be aware, because if you can't be self-aware and self-check yourself out of the situation when you start to feel yourself getting to a awkward spot, then it's not going to do any favors for your kids or your partnership as parents. This has nothing to do with me. This is actually somebody I know who went through that, and he's a sucker. I feel bad for him, but he figured it out eventually. Okay, number 3 shitty reason why you should stay friends with an ex. You like to keep an eye on them. No, I'm gonna have to disagree. I wholeheartedly think that keeping an eye on your ex is a great idea because, first off, they obviously have poor judgment because they broke up with you. Realistically, I mean, you don't even have to read religious texts to figure this out, but, do unto others not as they have done unto you, I think is how that is, or something like, I don't know. It's the light golden rule or something like that. But yeah, you should keep an eye on them because using your kids to have them report back on what's going on, that's not fair to the kids. You should just keep an eye on them. So if you have to hack their Wi-Fi and remote access their cable, and then
they have great hidden camera
block
space,
block certain websites that they get onto, like stuff like that, or you know,
maybe sabotage relationships they're currently in. That
yeah,
goes along the same lines.
yeah. I mean, you should keep an eye on them because you're just a good person and you just don't want anything bad to happen to them. So, I'd have to say the person who wrote this is self-centered, egotistical.
And
Narciss-
I'm afraid to read the rest of it. That
Yeah.
really bothers me.
I'm not really sure what we're going to get from here on out because this is someone who doesn't care about humans. Just humans.
That's a sociopath has been writing these.
Yeah, this is a person who treats cats poorly, I'll tell you that.
That's a fact.
Fucking fact. Number 4, you have the same circle of friends. They say this is a terrible reason to stay friends with your ex because you have the same circle of friends. All right, that one's a little tougher.
Usually, friends will take a side.
Friends will tell both parties that they're not taking sides,
And
but
then they will.
at some point, friends are taking sides. So, staying friends with your ex for the friends, I say that's a dumb reason. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't stay friends with your ex because of the circle of friends. You should just undercut your ex with that circle of friends at any chance possible and make sure they're seen in the most honest, pure, dirty, filthy, ugly light that they live in. So they choose you. Yeah, I think that's a Christian thing. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. Sounds
I
right.
believe that's in Second Obligations, first
Second Obligations,
chapter 4,
Chap-
verse 3.
4, verse 3. Yeah, I think so. Look it up. You pagans. Number 5, terrible reason to stay friends with your ex is because you're sad. Let me think about that one for a second.
That's like,
I think, well, if you're sad and then you stay friends with your ex, I don't think that's going to make you feel happy because you're probably sad because of the ex thing, right? Don't you think? That'd be like saying, like, 10 terrible reasons to cuddle with a dead animal. And it's like, number 5, because you're sad. Like,
that was a real, like, cop-out of a reason. I was disappointed with that one.
That's pretty weak.
It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, if you're sad, don't hang around with the source of your sadness unless you figured out that the sadness is you and you're the cause of your own sadness, at which case you might want to hang out with your ex instead of by yourself because self-loathing can be destructive. I'm just saying. That felt poignant, kind of. I'm gonna have to clip that and we'll put it on the YouTubes. Oh, I put some stuff on the YouTubes. If you don't know, Jeffrey Sinatra on YouTube, starting to upload clips and shows. I believe I have some from the weekend show with my daughters, which was actually far more entertaining, at least to me, than I thought it was going to be. I found out they're pretty comfortable on camera. They're pretty comfortable in front of tens of people. So... and they're pretty funny too. And my youngest one knows way too much random weird shit about YouTube fake lives of people who play Minecraft. And it's like listening to someone speak a foreign language. I love her to death. I do. She is funny and she is smart. But that YouTube thing, I watched her draw out a family tree of how all these characters were interlaced and who was the father, stepmom, cousin of so-and-so. And then it was bizarre. You'd think that she wouldn't get a C in social studies with that capacity in her brain. I mean, I'd say I'm not judging, but I absolutely am. She's my kid, so.
It's your job.
She's quirky. No, she is adorable. Super smart. She's probably going to rule the world someday. But her cabinet is going to resent her. I'm just saying. Youngest daughter, if you watch this, Ask me why I said your cabinet will resent you when you become president. I'll tell you in person. I don't want to say it in a public forum in a place where it can be repeated. Because you talk about weird shit all the time. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that out loud. Okay. The number 6 terrible reason why you should stay friends with your spouse, according to this online blog that I found that I didn't cite, and hopefully no one sues me for. I'm just kidding. I wrote this. But the person who wrote it gave me express permission to utilize it. So, because it was me. Hoping that they might change someday. Oh, okay. Now, we all know that this is actually a myth, that people don't change, because they do. They can decompose. They could lose a limb.
Their motivation for changing has to be internal, though. Otherwise, well, I mean, it's not gonna last if you're trying to change for your ex.
Oh, all right. So Uncle Pee-Pee's got a point back there. He's like, you're not going to change if your motivation is to change for that person. You're just realistically you're going to spend your time trying to change them and bend their will to meet yours. So hope is not a plan. And in order to have a plan, you have to have a strategy. In order to have a strategy, you have to have behaviors. In order to have behaviors, you have to have words. So if you can't back that up all the way back down to words, then intent means nothing. So,
Amen.
Number 6 is garbage.
Yeah, this list is disappointing. The one that was.
I'm glad it is. I don't. If I agreed with everything, I would be upset.
That's true.
Because then I would say somebody plagiarized my brain.
Yeah, and then we would go on that whole CIA conspiracy theory for 6 hours. Yeah.
No, they're saying no. This is terrible. I agree. We're actually in agreement. Hoping that they might change someday is a terrible reason to stay with an ex.
That's true. Yeah.
So we are in agreement there. Number 7, holding on to them as a back burner. A little spin the plates, a little side hoo-ha, if you know what I mean.
Because it takes energy?
Yeah, side bitch. Yes.
I have never known that was a reason. That's amazing to my brain.
So a bad reason to stay friends is for some backup partnership. Actually, I don't think that's a bad reason. If you're going to be friends, and your reason, and this is like in your heart, this is not just what you're stating to that person, because you're not going to say, hey, let's be friends because I want to keep you on the back burner in case the new hot stuff doesn't work out. At least I got, Old Faithful over there. But unlike Old Faithful who blows every 45 minutes, dun-dun-dun. A more sardonic version of what has been said before is the plan to keep them around if you cannot find someone much better than your ex. This is unfair to them. No. Spinning plates is normal. Spinning plates is part of human nature. So if you split each other or one splits the other, but you decide to stay friends just in case you got options, I don't see that as being an issue. Most people, up until the point of union, but even then, marriage doesn't solve for this. You're battling with your human nature, and your human nature for men is to dominate and conquer, and your human nature for women is hypergamy, which is the desire or biological need to
mate
with the most
eligible alpha male.
Yeah, the most virile, strongest alpha. Now you'll find your beta buck protector, of course. You'll settle for the protector, but
that's just for the time being.
Hypergamy doesn't lie, man. It's the nature is there. Well, we won't dig in too much right in this episode into sexual market value and how that changes over time, when women peak, when men peak, when women jump ship, Women initiate 75% of divorce in the United States because of hypergamy. Something in their brain goes off, and they think, oh well, this was good for 25 years, but there must be something else. I settled at the time because that person was a provider with the right genetics, and but now I feel like the brain goes haywire. There must be something else out there, and
The only
then
time they won't is if they believe that they're partnered up from their own station.
yep, yep. If they feel like they got the cream of the crop, then well, here's the thing: hypergamy, which is the biological nature to mate up, date up, marry up, rather.
Monkey branch out.
Um, if they land the ultimate alpha anyway, guaranteed that he's spinning plates and cheating on her the whole time anyway. So she'll become a alpha widow at some point. So you got to have, I think for longevity, you have to have this. Both people have to have this reduced sexual market value, and they have to also, like, the options have to be off the table for both parties, and hopefully a strong belief that their commitment to stay together is something that they meant and they believed in, and then it helps also if you have the common faith to guide you. But biologically, if you take those parts out of there, if you look at the people who stayed married, and I would say not in the boomer generation. The boomer generation is actually pretty solid. They're like ride or die, a lot of them. But post boomer, millennials and Xers, the divorce rate's 50-60%. Anyway, this is why mail order brides are where it's at. All right, it's got 96% success rate.
I don't think that staying friends with an ex is actually possible, or that when you're in a relationship, being friends with the opposite sex is something that is a good idea. Anyways,
Yeah, it causes problems.
girls think you can, guys know you can't, but they do it anyway.
True. But hey, if you're dating and you break up, keep them on the back burner. Why not? Have a side piece. Number 8, terrible reason why you should not stay friends with your ex. They will not stop at anything. Staying friends with your ex might not be your kind of idea, but what if they insist and won't let you be? That's when you get a restraining order, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
That's it.
And it costs a few dollars, and they're worth every penny. They are a bargain.
If they insist, and here's the thing, you have to have frame, both men and women, and you have to have boundaries, both men and women. If the relationship is coming to an end, you have to create the boundary and the frame that goes with that. You have to say, this is my truth, this is my choice, these are my expectations, this is how I'm going to behave and process moving forward. And then there you go. I see too much. I see it all the time. I see, people in my life in some form or another were like, oh my gosh, my ex won't stop threatening me. My ex won't stop breaking into my house and I'm not there. My ex won't stop, running me down in the car, and like it's nutty. Like the things that I hear them say, that's felonious behavior. Like, understand that harassment is not just pestering you, or not just threatening you with physical violence. Threatening you with physical violence is actually assault. Assault is the threat of violence. If they insist and say, look, if you try and get away from me, I'm going to hurt you, that's assault. that's a felony. They don't have to batter you. Everyone forgets the assault and battery part. They forget that there's two parts. Assault is just the intent and speaking of. Battery is actually when you hit the person, grab the person, shake the person, choke the person, whatever you do. Like if you're in a relationship, and this is a message for everybody. If you are in a relationship that you have called it quits, even if you have children together, it does not matter. That person must respect your wishes, your boundaries, and your frame, no matter what. And if they do not, there are consequences, including jail time, including prison time as it progresses, including contempt of court immediately. So there are a lot of things that are out there to protect you. If you have a relationship with somebody and they insist on not respecting your wishes on how your relationship is going to be, then get the authorities involved.
Don't worry about their feelings.
Yeah. Don't worry about what they're going to tell your friends about you. Don't worry about, they're going to talk bad. They're going to say I called the cops, and they're going to say this. Who cares?
You have a right to feel safe and secure.
Protect yourself. You have the right to feel safe and secure, emotionally, physically, everything. If you have children that you're responsible for, and you're being threatened and harassed and assaulted,
parent if you don't protect them,
then that is your legal obligation. At that point, the children's safety is your 100% legal responsibility. And if you fail to act in a reasonable and prudent manner,
you're a horrible person. You're ripping up your mother card.
So, if you need help, if this sounds familiar to you, and these are situations that you've had to deal with or you're dealing with now, call the authorities, call a lawyer, call the police. If you're afraid to call the police directly and you're not in direct harm, call a lawyer. You can call a lawyer. They will give you advice for free over the phone. Trust me. Look up free legal help in your area. It's all over the place. It's free. They will tell you what to do. They will give you the advice. They will point you in the right direction. If you were raised in a family that was broken and you witnessed dysfunctional behavior happening with your parents or your step parents, meaning a lot of yelling and screaming and a lot of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, please do not go to your parent for advice, because they will not give you advice. You might be mirroring what you were shown when you were being raised, and that's not your fault, because it's going to be your nature to do so. But keep in mind, if you have children, your children will mirror your behavior. So take care of that. Don't go to mom who has 5 ex-husbands and gets weird random black eyes and ask mom how to get out of it, because if mom had any clue, mom would have got out of them herself. So that's a spot when the parent is not the right person, okay? Turtle Ranch, good show tonight. Your video is jerky. What? How do you know? Did you lick it? Or was it chewy? Oh, you're saying there's some lag. Oh, okay. There's frame lag. Well, thanks for the feedback and thanks for tuning in, Turtle Ranch. I appreciate you very large. I'm going to change my FPS on this since it's buffering. Give me a moment. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go ahead and drop the res out down a little bit. We're going to drop the FPS down a little bit. We're going to refresh it. Okay. Is it still jerky? It is a little bit. It's still laggy. Time to get a new video card. Okay, so we are almost done, ladies and germs. Are you ready? You're sad. You're hoping they might change. Nobody changed. Back burner. I say that's fine. Nothing wrong with side piece. They will not stop at anything. Yes, they will. They will stop at the police and jail time. Thanks, Turtle Ranch. I didn't have my glasses on. I thought you called me a word that we're not allowed to use on this site, but apparently I have lag. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do you a favor. There you go. Just listen to my voice. Enjoy. Now my video is not lagging, is it? What video exactly? Number 9, you are experiencing the grass is greener syndrome. Research suggests that being unsatisfied with your new relationship ought you to feel, I don't know, did I write this? I did write this, obviously, because otherwise I would have to cite the person who did. Research suggests that being unsatisfied with your new relationship, blah, 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 ought to feel more engaged in keeping the communication with your ex. Oh, okay. So if you're unsatisfied with the new, then you might keep in touch with your ex. Romanticizing the person you are not with is easier. After all, you're no longer regularly exposed to their annoying habits. But the mindset turns out to be a trap, because if you keep comparing your situation to your current affair, it is better to try opening up such feelings with them instead of running to your ex for an escape or support. Adding your ex together with your complicated relationship will probably entangle things further. That is true. The grass is always greener. You split with your ex, you got the new person, you remember the good times with the ex, but not the bad times. You start making comparisons, and then instead of dealing with whatever's going on in your current relationship, then you gravitate towards the ex because, well, we're only remembering the good times now.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
It's like an addict who is thinking about a relapse, really.
Yeah, it's like relapsing when addictive behavior is the same across the board. You're having the same lack of dopamine, you're having the same issues with serotonin and oxytocin, so it's a hormonal issue. And the reality is, if you move on to a new relationship and it's just as choppy as your last one, you might be the problem.
And you might be the problem because you're picking bad men.
You could be the problem because you're a punk. You could be the problem because you're a nag. You can be a problem because you are attracted to the people who bring out the worst in you. Yeah, that's a good point.
Picking bad men or bad women, yeah.
There's all sorts of versions. You have to figure out, like, what is your kryptonite. If you're attracted to a certain type of person, and then that certain type of person brings out parts of you that you don't like surfacing, then you have to break that addiction.
Yeah, you got to rewire your brain.
I know a guy he told me once, and I thought this was actually really funny. He said, if I meet a girl and she cries in front of me in the first minute and a half that we're talking, I immediately get aroused and think I need to save her. And well, that's a sign of codependent relationships, and that's a sign that you're probably trying to solve for something a little bigger in your life that is not going to be solved by that person. So dig a little deep, get some therapy, go see a psychiatrist.
And don't believe anybody that says you can't change, because it's absolutely possible. That's just an excuse to stay in the rut or whatever behavior is giving you problems.
So you guys heard that. This is a very good point that he makes. Don't let people convince you that you can't change, because you can change. However, do listen to people when they tell you that you can't change someone else, because that is true. You can absolutely change yourself, because you can learn. You can learn what drives you. You can learn what your motivators are. You can learn what your triggers are. You could learn what your what reflexes you're still holding on to. You can figure these things out. I've talked about this before, and I'll talk about it again, and I'll talk about it again, and I'll talk about it again, and I'll talk about it again. You can improve yourself for the rest of your life until you're dead. That's just a matter of fact. You can't hope to change, though, just like you stated earlier, because hope is not a plan. But what you can do is you can start identifying your behaviors. You can start identifying the behaviors that elicit emotion. And when you start identifying those emotions, you have to name them. And you have to break those emotions down into words. I always go back to words. If you feel what you feel, because that comes from your limbic brain. So you have two limbics. You have your autonomic limbic brain, which makes your heart beat and your lungs respirate and your blood flow and your heart pump and all that stuff. And then you have your secondary limbic, which gives you feelings. That's fight or flight. It's sexual urges. It's hunger. It's fear. It's all joy. It's all those things. But it doesn't have language and it doesn't have words. You are going to be driven by your limbic brain, whether you like it or not, always. But that doesn't mean that it has to control you. The point of psychiatry, psychology, neurobiology, the whole point of those fields is to break down human emotion, break down behaviors and experiences that cause mental illness, that cause behavioral issues, behavioral problems. So it's not we don't need to understand these things just so we can know that they're there, but we understand these things so that we have a chance at altering them. So if you could learn to go without food, or you could learn to extend how long you go between meals, what do they call that now?
Fasting?
Intermittent fasting. If you can do intermittent fasting, then you can also change your behaviors. You can also change how you act in a relationship. You can also change how you process. Right? When you go on a diet, when you go on a new eating plan, somebody is literally spelling out the behaviors for you of what to eat, when, how, and why. And they explain the why to you. Here's the roadmap. And they start with words. Think about it. This is a carbohydrate. This is a protein. This is a fat. This is how they are processed by your body. This is glycolysis. This is the Krebs cycle. This is a calorie. This is how we identify a calorie. Calorie is a word. What does it mean? Well, what is calorie? It's a calorie is a unit of energy that measures how much heat it takes to raise. What is it? Raise, I forget. Was it mercury? Raise whatever by 1 degree. Anyway, I'm trying to think what it was. But a calorie is a unit of measurement of energy. So when you go on a diet, you're able to be successful on a diet. When you change your habits, you're able to have success. The thing is, you have to be diligent for the rest of your life. You can't just change your eating habits for 3 months, hit your goal, and then go back. Otherwise, you just wind up fatter than you were before, right? It's the same thing when it comes to your personality. It's the same thing when it comes to your personal triggers. It's the same thing when it comes to addiction. It's the same thing when it comes to all those things. You have to break it down. So remember, you can always change. You can't change anybody. You might be able to be a catalyst for somebody. You might be able to be a support for somebody. That's absolutely possible.
Buddy.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
But what you can't do is
I dropped one.
what you can't do is I don't remember what I was saying. Something happened. I got fed an apple and then my mind went blank. Oh yeah. You can be a catalyst for change, but you can't ultimately change somebody. You can't change somebody else's behavior. You can only influence them to learn how to do it themselves. All right, I'm going to see if I can turn the camera back on without so much lag. Let's give it a shot. As it speeds up. I needed a snap. That's some good apple. Hey, you like apples? I got a number. How about them apples?
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. I like that one. I got a number. Electrical longboard, Bible Thumps, Otten, Rummist, Turtle Ranch. How y'all? What y'all up to? Y'all good? Can I get you anything? You guys want a soda? You want me to roll you a fat blunt? What you want? All right. Well, we were gonna drop some lysergic acid, but now if you don't want any, that's fine. Number 10, according to this online author. Number 10, terrible reason to stay friends with your ex. They love you still. That's a horrible reason. You stay friends with your ex because or you stay friends with, like, let's say you break up with them. Let's talk in our first person, right? You break up with them, and they still love with you. They still love you, so you're gonna be friends with them. That's just selfish. That's horrible. Don't do that. Nothing good comes of that. You're a bad person, actually. I'm mad at you right now. No, I'm gonna kick your ass. Still a little jerky. You're a little jerky. Kidding. All right, so let's read that one. I'm gonna go dark for a second because I need to change my underwear. I don't want you guys to see it. And ouch! Don't touch me. That hurt. Get your hands off me. No, that's mine. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Do I still sound like a robot? We're just swapping a little bit of equipment here. Midstream. That's it. That's it. No biggie. We're almost done. We had some equipment malfunction. So we're going to get that fixed. Okay. I think I'm going to find out here in a second if this is working. And lights, camera, action. Disconnected device. Did I not reconnect this one? Well, let's do this. And here it's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Oh, it's got that face tracking stuff it's doing. I think that's why it's lagging. I think it's got that. It's doing the face tracking. It's a pain in the ass. I think it's causing the lag. Hey, can you, if you guys can hear me, how do it sound? Do it sound like a robot or do it sound like a normal? Wow, that one's all wackadoo. I feel like there's a lot of interference with my computer today, which is causing this. That's my built-in one. All right, not to worry, guys. 10 more seconds. Everything's going to be back up and rolling. All right, watch me. Watch me. We're going to put that one to sleep. That one to sleep. I literally have, at this point, like 4 webcams. So I've got that. I've got the 720. I've got a 1080. I've got another 1080. I've got a big chunky 1080p. Let's try this one. Got the onboard. The onboard one sucks. Aha. Here we go. Yeah. Looks like I'm going to have to put in for that. You can put in a 60 hertz filter for like electrical interference. And I think that's what we've been battling with is the electrical interference. Just because I was bitten by a spider, I didn't expect all that electrical interference to happen. All right. We're going to change one more. See if we can get a clear line for the last 10 minutes of the show. That one's a little liney too. That's weird. All right. Wide angled and weird. And I look purple. Weird. All right, guys. Here we go. We're going to go black and white. Nope. We're going to go green. Sepia tone. We're going to finish sepia tone and shiny. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . when you guys break up, the best thing you can do is move on. Best thing you can do. It's the best thing you can do for yourself, best thing you can do for that person. There's really no good reason to stay friends with your ex, whether it's ex-wife, ex-girlfriend. There's no good reason. Now, if you're raising a family together, it's important that you develop some mutual respect.
Yeah, civil.
You treat each other with respect, and if you can associate with each other around the children and be respectful and show them
What adults are like.
how adults are supposed to be and be an example in that regards, that's going to go a long, long, long way. It's going to go a long way. If you're a man and you're in a relationship and you are the on the receiving end of becoming the ex, meaning it was not your plan, remember that the way that you treat that ex is the that you are showing and you are modeling how you expect them to treat their partners in the future. So be aware of that. Make good choices. If you're dating and when you're younger, man, I can remember when I was a teenager, I absolutely would fall in love so hard. I mean, from the fourth grade, third grade on, I would fall in love so hard that if we were no longer together, it was like literally the end of the world. I thought I was going to die. It was horrible. High school, same thing. You're with somebody, your feelings are so intense. And when they're over, guess what? Your feelings are so intense. You know what? It's just the human condition. We are wired to love. We are wired to be in partnerships and pairs. We are wired to live in communities of up to 150 people is about the right size. But we're hardwired for that. We're hardwired for cooperation. We're hardwired for nurturing. We're hardwired for um, solving problems as a group. We're hardwired for connection. We're not solitary human beings. When you go through a breakup, if you're the one who makes that decision, then it is on you to create boundaries and have a strong frame that you work from so you can make very, very clear that the relationship is over and that part of your life is now in the past, and not harbor any promises, anything. Don't lead the person on in any way, shape, or form. Don't do it. Move on. If you're on the opposite side, if you're on the receiving end, you need to find new things to do when you had previously filled up your time with that boyfriend or that girlfriend or that husband or that wife. You had previously filled all your time and occupied your time with doing things with that person. It's important that after a brief period of mourning, when you don't feel like associating with anybody, that you pick up a hobby, that you get out and ride a bike, you think of things that you used to do, think of things that you always wanted to try that you never, that maybe you put down because you focus on your relationship. Find a mission in life and go live that mission. Sitting around feeling sorry for yourself will never ever make you better as a person, better as a human being, better as a friend, better as a,
More confident to get a better person.
better as a partner for somebody else. The healthiest thing you can do is realize when those relationships are over that they're over, and
what it takes to get over it.
focusing on you, even if you're out of the habit of doing it, but focusing on self-care is the best thing you can do. And it's okay to only think about yourself. It is absolutely okay. It's imperative that you do. We don't realize when we're in relationships that codependency builds, and that is not it's not healthy. It's not healthy to only be happy when that other person is happy. It is not healthy to only have joy when you bring someone else joy. That is dysfunction, 100% dysfunction. Even though we want to feel like a hero sometimes, and we want to make that person feel better, and we want to consider that person over ourselves, if you live for somebody else's happiness and you don't live for your own, then you truly aren't going to feel fulfilled in life. You might think you are. You might think that you have it all together, but if your identity only comes on the back of the partnership that you have, you'll find out how much of yourself you left behind when all you have is you. So get out there, go paint something, go kick a bike, kick a bike, ride a ball, all those things. Make a friend, throw a frisbee, walk your dog, do things, go to church, go do things that get you out with other people. And remember that you have value. You're a valuable person. You've had friends your whole life. You've made somebody laugh in your life. Someone's loved you in your life. And remember that your worth is not dependent on the acceptance of an ex-partner, ever. And your worth is not actually dependent on your acceptance from a current partner. It is not somebody else's job to make you happy. And it is not your job to make somebody else happy. That's all there is to it. You find happiness on your own. It's a healthy way to be. Okay? Have strength. Read books. My recommendation as we wrap this up, Jordan Peterson. If you haven't read him, Canadian psychiatrist or psychologist, professor, public speaker, author. The 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, and then 12 More Rules for Life. I don't remember what the subset is called. I have it on Audible, and I've listened to it 3 times, but I forget. I recommend that you get a hold of something that is psychologically based, that reminds you how you're wired and how you're triggered. Jordan Peterson is an excellent read for that, to remind you what's important as a human being. Here's an out of left field recommendation. Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
Excellent.
And I highly recommend the Audible version. If you like the book, if you like books, get books. I like books, but he reads his story so incredibly well that you can't help but feel what he feels. You laugh when he laughs, you cringe when he cringes, you cry when he cries. You when he hits his green lights and his life lessons, and a green light for him is anytime he learns a lesson in life that moves him forward. That's a green light. So it's outstanding. It's a great listen. It's a great read. He goes through the lessons of his life, no matter good, bad, painful, awful, amazing, and chronicles what he learned from them and how it made him a better person, or how it made him more of a person. Great. So that's on your reading list. Jordan Peterson. And then for just to be balanced, to give you a female voice, I think female voices are extremely important, extremely powerful. Um, Oftentimes, men want to read men books and women want to read women books. I just want to read books that are intelligent and teach me something. So I'm going to balance you out with two men, two women. We got Jordan Peterson on one side. We got Matthew McConaughey. You got psychology. You got life lessons. Dr. Brene Brown. Courage. Courage to be vulnerable. Dr. Brene Brown. Check her out. Absolutely amazing. It's psychology. It's a psychology of human beings. She does research, and she breaks down emotions and actions into language and words, and then defines it in such a way that you can understand what it means to be all these things. What does it mean to be courageous? What does it mean to be vulnerable? What does it mean to be happy? What does it mean to all those things? She's phenomenal. Also great on audio as well as to read the books. Mel Robbins is my other recommendation, my female recommendation. Mel Robbins, what is it, like the 5-second solution? Look at anything by Mel Robbins. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She wrote a book just about how counting down from 5 in order to take action will change your life. You can sit around feeling sorry for yourself and you don't know what the next move is, but she relates it to watching the space shuttle blast off. She's sitting around depressed, but she's watching the launch and they're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it blasts off. And she had that vision and she said, when they got to 1, there was no option but to move that space shuttle. So you make it part of your part of your practice, part of your countenance, that even though you may not know the next right move, you count yourself down like a space shuttle. And when you get to 1, you stand up and you move. Failure to take action is the biggest issue that we have as Americans. Worrying about all the right steps is a waste of time. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just move. All right, so that was the show. That's the show. That's it. That's what you get. TRW, the reasons why. This one was 10 reasons why, or it's 10 terrible reasons to be friends with your ex. Some recommendations in between. Thanks to Perrin for his support, his work on getting this together, and keeping me on track when I don't want to be. Thanks to my cat for surviving all the times I tried to let her go. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Any of those things that seem like they would be a legal issue, like they're just hyperbole and they're just ways for me to tell stories. They didn't really happen. All right then. Till next time. For Perrin, for the dog and the cat, and for the man upstairs who loves you, Jeffrey Sinatra, I'm out.
Love you too, buddy. Thank you.
Love you too, bud. And bye-bye.